And you're very welcome to Mine Temple 2 here in Tipperary for Tipperary against Dublin in the Dublin Senior Ladies Championship Round 2. Dublin come into this off the back of a very strong win the last day out against Cavan. Tipperary lost out to Mayo by 10 points. They're at home today, so they'll be hoping to put in a big result. This isn't going to be easy for them. Dublin have been in the last 8 All-Ireland finals. They've won 4 and lost 4. So Tipperary know they're up against it today, but in front of a home crowd, they'll be hoping to put it in a big performance. Just looking at the starting 15s there's 2 changes to the Tip 15 that was released there during the week, so I'll quickly run through that. In goals, they have Lauren Fitzpatrick. Of course, she's the Ballymacarbery captain. They won their 40th county title there last year. She's a good player to take the ball, go forward, run with the ball. The corner back there is where there is a change. Ellen Moore is out and is replaced by number 20 Ava O'Shea. Full back there, Maria Curley is at full back and she is the team captain, and Emma Cronin is in the other corner. Half back line then is Lucy Spillane, Niamh Martin and Maureen Murphy. Moving into the midfield, we have Clean O'Dwyer and Clara English, and then up front we have Nora Martin, Marie Creedon and Elaine Kelly. And then the inside line, they'll be hoping they'll do a bit of damage. Again, there's one change there from the programme that came out during the week. Number 13 is Casey Hennessy. 26 Angela McGuigan comes in there in place of number 14 Lorraine O'Shea, and number 15 Emma Morrissey. The Atherlone, who got 4 points out the last day, out, is in there at 15. Moving on to Dublin now. Dublin came down here. Huge contingent of them came down there at about 1 o'clock. They're here, they're warming up, they're looking strong, they're looking fit, and they're looking to get back to another All-Ireland final. Last year, we remember they were beaten by Meath by 2 points in that famous match in Croke Park, and they'll be hoping to get revenge for it. They got revenge, I suppose, earlier in the year in the Leinster final. But looking at their starting 15, in goals there, Abby Shields. Their full back line is Tammy Quinn Corbally, Niamh Collins and Hannah Leahy. Half back line is Orla Nolan, Siobhan Woods and Ellen Gribben. Their midfield line there is Lauren McGee, who spent the last couple of years over in Australia playing AFL with Melbourne Demons. Partnering her is Jennifer Dunn, a big physical player there. They will cause damage in the centre of that field. And then up front we have number 10 Nicole Owens. Beside her there is Niamh Heatherton, and in the other wing is number 12 Sinead Wild. The inside line there, number 13 Carla Rowe. Carla got 2-3 the last day out against Cavan, so she will take some watching. The full forward there, Sinead Ahern, is being replaced. So number 14, Sinead Ahern, makes way for number 19, Siobhan Killeen. And number 15 there is Jodie Egan. So they're both our starting 15s. We're going to be getting ready to go in about 3 minutes or so. I'm delighted to be joined in the commentary box by Lena Ryan. Lena, local journalist, All-Ireland winner with London back in the 90s. What are you expecting from today's game?
I'm expecting a great game. I think if Chip can hold Dublin in that onslaught, Dublin caught Cavan with goals in the beginning of it. I think Carla Rowe, they'll have to keep her. She was huge in that Cavan game as well. But I'd like Chip will miss Lorraine O'Shea. She has huge experience. Angela McGuigan is a great girl to be able to bring in. Loves to go straight for the post. Eva O'Shea, talented cornerback. So we'll need our full back line of O'Shea, Curley and Cronin to be on top form today, and we'll need huge work rate from Clara English and Clean O'Dwyer in the middle of the field. Of course, as I say, Carla Rose is huge for Dublin. Also in their middle of the field they have a strong midfield. I think we'll get a cracking game, an open game. There'll be lots of scores out, and as I said, I would be hoping, wearing my Tip cap maybe a bit today, that we'd hope the Tip would hold them early on and then build on it. There is a kind of a good strong breeze down at pitch level here, Paul, so that'll be influential as well. But get off to a good start and a good game of football, and it's great to be here in Temple 2.
We're hoping for a great game. It's due to start here in the next 2 minutes or so. Tipperary are out there, Dublin are out there. We haven't seen a coin toss, we haven't got that far yet, so we're not sure which way the wind is, or which team will be playing with the wind. Just talking to some of the backroom team there from a Tip point of view earlier on, they're hoping to play with the breeze in the first half, try and get up a bit of a lead and hold on to that for the second half. Dublin come down here, bags and bags of experience. What is it like going in? Tipperary are definitely the underdogs today, Lena. What's it like playing in a game like that, playing against a big superpower like Dublin?
Well, this is where you want to show your style, and we have lots of class in our field. As I said, our full back at Maria Curley, Niamh Martin is a lady that's come through the ranks in football in Tipperary. Lucy Spillane from Feathered, very strong physical player, well able to take the ball upfield, and also of course Maureen Murphy there. We probably need a bit more from our forward line than we've got in the game against Mayo. We need them to score. Marie Creedon needs to get on the ball, and we need to, our backs need to hold. And there's loads of talent in the Dublin. Nicola Owens, Carla Rowe, Sinead Wild, they all have bags of experience. They have no fear. They come in here on the big stage, and there's a big gap in league difference as well, but Tip have benefited a lot from being in Division 2 for the last couple of years, and of course there's quite a lot of people that are missing from the squad for Tip, but that's it. You have to play with what's here today. We'll take a break for the national anthem.
And so we're nearly ready to go here in Mount Temple 2, or Temple Toohey, I should say, the GA club here known as Mount Temple 2. We're here in Temple Toohey for the start of this one. We've just gone through the last few of the formalities, so we're hoping to get ready to go here. We're already gone 1 minute past 2, so the referee will be hoping to try and get this one up and going as quick as he can. The other game in this group is Cavan and Mayo. That's also thrown in around now, which both teams will probably have an eye on. Dublin play Mayo next week, while Tip play Cavan, which a lot of people are saying is potentially the decider to see who maybe has to play in the relegation playoff for to go down intermediate next year. Dublin and Mayo, then potentially are looking at to see who gets to go on to the quarterfinals in positions first and second. We're nearly ready to go here. As we mentioned, Dublin, bags and bags of experience. 7 of the players starting today played in that, or 6 I should say, seeing as Sinead Hearn is now gone, but 6 who played in the All-Ireland final last year. But they've made 10 changes from the last day out against Cavan. Just shows the strength and depth they have in their panel. So Dublin are lining out. Tipperary will play as we thought they might. It's hard to tell by that breeze now, but I think they have the breeze potentially. Are they playing it into their face actually? Maybe you can get a better view on that. Is Dublin going to have the breeze in the first half?
Yeah, Dublin are going to have the breeze in the first half. Dublin are going down to defend the goals down there, so the breeze is blowing right to left here in Temple Dewey.
So we'll just see how they get their heads around that and see how it goes in the opening 10 or 15 minutes or so. So again, Tip still in the huddle. They've come out. We mentioned this, our colleagues mentioned this on commentary last week with Tipperary. It's very helpful from a commentary point of view. Their numbers are very, very distinctive. The white on the black drop almost for their jerseys is very distinctive for a commentator and from a spectator alike. It really does make things much easier. Now we're ready to go. We're just keep an eye out for positional changes. Lena might come back to that in a few minutes once the ball is thrown in, just to see has people moved around the field, how they're going to line out. Are we playing sweepers? What's the story with that? We'll find out in a couple of seconds. I see Emma Cronin has gone over to the far side of the field, so they're changing. Emma Cronin looks like she's going over to pick up Carla Rowe on the far side of the field, so we'll keep an eye on that as the ball is thrown up, and we're ready to go here for the first half of this game. And straight away it's Dublin onto attack. It's McGee who has it. Lauren McGee gets it, feeds it back outside as far as Nicole Owens. Nicole Owens now has it, looking around. A couple of players try to stand her up, Creedon, but no, Owens still has it. She comes back inside. Lovely kick pass across the field. Dublin hold on to that. That just hops straight over Wild's head, but Dublin hold on to this, working it inside. They're on the attack very early days here, working it over and back, but Tipperary well intercepted there by O'Dwyer. Clean O'Dwyer got her body in the way and moves that on as far as Niamh Martin. Niamh Martin's pass doesn't go to hand. It's Niamh Heatherton now on the far side of the field. Heatherton gives that back outside and they're holding on to it still over there. It looks like Gribben has the ball. Gribben fist that one back inside. It was a good run there for Jennifer Dunn, but her run was impeded. Dublin hold on to this, so they're picking up the scraps. Well read, well cut out there by Ava O'Shea. Ava, who wasn't due to start, but has come onto the field, and now she's got things more from a Tipperary point of view. Hennessy then plays that in. The Jewel Star puts that one up, puts a high one up just out of reach of the Tipperary forward. Dublin look like they have enough numbers back there, and back there is Niamh Collins, bags of experience as we mentioned. She managed to slow things down. Exciting enough start for both teams.
Yes, it is, and Dublin are on the attack right with a sweeping attack. They're up the field now with it, but Tip are keeping them tight and getting a lot of turnovers.
Lauren McGee started that one. She started the first attack and she's starting this one again. Nolan now has it. Nolan is working that down into the corner. Dangerous ball inside, looking for Carla Rowe. Carla gets it, as we mentioned. She got 2-3 the last day. Tried to skin her player there, didn't manage to make too much ground. Goes back as far as Nolan. Now Nolan's looking up. Good heads up football from Dublin. Back as far as Lauren McGee. Her father and her uncle both played for Dublin. She's full of pedigree there as it goes out as far as Jennifer Dunn. Jennifer Dunn feeds that one back inside. Still Dublin on the attack, just looking for the opening. Nicole Owens gives that back outside. The shot is eventually coming in. Niamh Heatherton puts a boot behind that, puts that to the right and wide. That's the first shot in anger. Good defending from Dublin, or from Tipperary. Maybe Dublin will feel they should have got a score out of it though.
They probably should have, but great defending. They kept him tight and kept him out, and getting the hand in and getting the turnovers over there, particularly Lucy Spillane there for Tipperary.
Lauren Fitzpatrick starts the attack. We're going to see a lot more of that in the game. She's a real Niall Morgan, Rory Began style player from the goal. She comes out, takes a little pass and starts the attack. Now it's up as far as Ava O'Shea. Ava inside the attack in 45, looking for some support. She gets a bit of support outside there from McGuigan. McGuigan got a goal against Kerry in the league. Now she gets it again and puts that inside as far as O'Dwyer. O'Dwyer feeds it on. Tipperary hoping to build, but they're in a dangerous enough position over there for getting a shot off though, and that one is well cut out. Dublin had enough players back there again and just stopped Tipperary making any ground, but that one is just kicked away aimlessly. No, it's not. It's Niamh Heatherton sprints out the field, beats two Tipperary players, gets onto that, win herself a free, but the referee says play on now, and Wild gets it, and Wild gives that off, and Tipperary are really out of position here as Jennifer Dunn drives forward from a Dublin point of view. She has it on the far side of the field, a big tackle coming in there. Referee says it was a foul, but you have the advantage. Play on in as far as Colleen now. Colleen who come on instead of Ahern to start this match. As far as Rowe, is there going to be a shot coming in here from Wild on the edge of the D? She goes back out as far as Nicole Owens on the loop there. Dublin still holding on to this, still got the ball. They've worked it all the way back as far as Quinn Corbally. She puts a left foot across as far as Heatherton now. Heatherton looking up, has she support? She does. It's Lauren McGee who's been lively since the start of this game. That one goes back outside as far as Nolan. Nolan then puts that one inside. Nicole Owens has it again. Nicole gives a little show and go, doesn't manage to make any ground. Tipperary defending really well there. 2 and 3 players just stopping Nicole Owens and the Dublin players making any ground. In as far as Lauren McGee now. Lauren McGee feeds that one back as far as Nolan. Nolan has it now. Kick pass back outside. Dublin been very patient, Tipperary been resolute with their defending, and Dublin just holding on to this over and back, not taking any silly shots, much like their men's team play, not taking on the percentage shot. Back as far as Niamh Heatherton again. Heatherton gets a little 1-2. She gets it back. Is she going to have a shot? She shot a few minutes ago. Tackle come in there, big tackle on Wild. The referee says, what does he say? He eventually says he's paused play anyway. Is he going to allow for a bit of an injury? I think he's stopped the clock and there's a Tipperary girl down. But I suppose sum up that last 2 minutes of play, I suppose, Lena, it was all Dublin on the attack, but Tipperary held a firm line and Dublin were just forced to be patient.
That's exactly it. And Orla Nolan seems to be the link player between the backs and the forward. She seems to be going up the right hand wing here, but the tip backs and the tip midfield are working hard to keep them out and forcing them to play the ball over and back. I think we have a player down. I think it could be Marie Curley. No, it's not Marie Curley.
I think it may be Lucy Spillane.
But Lucy's made it tough stuff, and she came out and blocked. I think the referee did right to stop it, and I think probably Dublin were probably going to. Sinead Wild was probably going to stick it over the bar, but she disrupted the play. But solid in the defence. I think they need to be more accurate in their passing when they are in possession. The experience, I suppose, of Dublin is showing in that they're getting their passes accurately. And as I said, Orla Nolan seems to be the link player. She seems to be up and down the field to link it up between the four. She's up in the 21 metre line at the moment, waiting for the ball to be kicked in, and it is a free to Dublin.
Carla Rosso stepping over this when you'd expect her to get this. She's just outside. Oh, she goes short. Are they going to work a move from here? Dublin Arena, there's a shot. Brilliant save. Fitz goes down in that. Fitzpatrick went down in that. Stopped and almost definite goal. And it looks like Dublin are going to have another chance at it. Quick thinking from Dublin, but really quick thinking by Fitzpatrick there in the goal. Are they going to take another quick one? Lena, how would you sum up that quickly?
I mean, that's just it. Lauren Fitzpatrick at her best. She's never beaten. And then the Tipper coming out with it, a head-on challenge. But that's Lauren at her absolute best when she does that.
Cat-like reactions, and it's going to be Carla Rowe. She's come in another maybe 5 or 6 metres from the original free. You'd imagine she's going to tip this one over. She's doing a lot of talking with the sideline with her fellow players. You can imagine she'll take the handy score. No score yet in this game after 5.5 minutes or so. So you'd imagine she's going to tip this one over to get Dublin up and running for the day. Yeah, she's taking her time. She's going through the motions. 2-3 the last, 1 from a free, and here goes Carla. And as you expect, fairly central one, but it'll give Tip plenty to think about, knowing Dublin can take the quick one.
And that's that they need to be aware of. But I suppose they covered it well, and they were able to block it down. A great save from Lauren Fitzpatrick. They need to work the ball up the field now, and work it quickly and accurately.
And here comes across to Creed, and her father Peter is the manager. She's getting the ball. She's way out from her own goal. She's 11 on her back, but they want her to kind of turn into the Vicky Wall style role. They want her to be picking up the ball and running at it. Let's see if she can do it in the course of this game. That's worked over back as far as Niamh Martin. Niamh Martin is onto Spillane. Spillane has it now. She's looking strong. She goes past Lauren McGee, takes the solo, still going forward. Couple of Dublin players stand her up. She manages to hold on to it just about. Good work there from a Dublin defensive point of view. Martin now gets that ball, feeds that back outside. Tipperary still have this. Now they'll be hoping to try and work a score out of this. As far as Martin got a goal against Mayo the last day out in about the 66th minute of that game, when the game was nearly done and dusted, but she did get the goal. Goes forward here. Looks like she got a bit of a tip in the face there, and it's going to be a free in from the edge of the D.
And a well worked free there. She nearly lost possession and kept it, passed it back out, and has worked it well to get the free. This is from a very scoreable position with the wind at their back, and Emma Morrissey is well capable of leveling the scores at this stage.
So here comes Emma. She got 4 the last day out, 3 of them coming from frees. So here goes the Aherlow woman on her right boot, trying to level up the game. It's 1 point to no score at the moment. We can change that now. 1 point apiece. Good score for Emma Morrissey, and a good one for her confidence.
A great one for her confidence, and that'll give her good confidence. And she just took her time and put it straight between the posts.
So Dublin get going again. They're working it through the lines. They know they have a bit of breeze to play into, so they won't be giving any big long kicks. And as I say that, they give a decently long kick in as far as Wild. Now Wild has it. She's got a great pair of engine on her, great pair of legs on her, even to run down the line. Goes past the player, got a bit of a touch, and it goes out over the line.
Emma Morrissey there, very good keeping her. Wild tried to get past her, she couldn't, and just pushed her out over the sideline.
So we restart again. It goes back from a Tipperary point of view. They're holding on to this one. They have had to work very hard to get the ball up and down the field, but they're a young team. They have plenty of energy. Back as far as Creedon now. Creedon feeds that over the far side of the field. Dublin again just not letting them get out of their own half. It's a great play from a Dublin point of view. Heatherton is over there trying to put in a tackle there. Looks like she's done enough to disrupt the Tipperary player going forward, and it's now going to be a line ball to Dublin.
They're both playing a similar type of game, tough in defence and then all attacking at the one time. Casey Hennessy there was unfortunate to lose possession on that ball. She did great work going forward.
Big tackle going in there on Hannah Leahy, but she holds on to it, gives it far as Jennifer Dunn. Jennifer Dunn, the cooler woman now, driving forward, looking to run on her. She has no one around her, plenty of space as she runs down into this, and Heatherton was calling for it. She decides to keep going herself. She won a free, but the referee says play on. You have the advantage. They've worked down into the corner, in as far there as Carla Rowe. Carla Rowe goes back out as far as Wild, gets the 1-2. Here comes Carla. She has a point from a free already. Back as far as Heatherton. Heatherton's father and mother both played for Dublin, as did her brother John, played with the Dublin Hurlers. Dublin still have this one, working it across that 45. Tipperary holding a strong line. O'Shea there trying to put in a few hands, trying to put in a few tackles, but Dublin still managed to make a bit of inroads. Brilliant interception there, brilliantly taken in the air, pulled out of the sky. It was a brilliant bit of defending from a Tipperary point of view, and now they have it back again, and now they're just going around holding on to this one, trying to get numbers back in position, but it looks like Nicole Owens stuck in a hand there. Here comes Nicole Owens, she's up to the 14. Owens with a shot, and Owens rifles down into the top corner of the net. It came from a turnover. Nicole Owens made it, and she finished it.
She did indeed, and Lauren Fitzpatrick could not. Great work there by Dublin. They kept working at it, they got the turnover, and when she got it in that position, there was nowhere else going to be but in the back of the net.
She got 2 goals the last day out. We mentioned against Cavan. She came off the bench that day. She only played about 15 minutes. She has a goal here already today inside the first 10 minutes. Nicole Owens' season is getting off to an absolute flyer. Now the ball has gone back inside. It looks like that was heading in towards Morrissey. Morrissey's out in front. It goes to Groundo. Who's going to get onto it? They're both hassling and harrying over there. Leahy is on it. It's almost like a rugby style scrum over there at the moment. But Dublin are up and they're away. And it's Jennifer Dunn now who has it. Jennifer Dunn feeds that on as far as her midfield partner McGee. McGee has a runner there. That runner looked to be Niamh Collins. Collins then feeds that one back outside as far as Nolan. Nolan now is looking up. There is a bit of space ahead of her. Nicole Owens, the goal scorer, is on her right. Is she going to give it to Nicole? Nicole is there. She decides to hold on to it. Still Nolan. Nolan back inside. Dublin holding on to this one. Back now through Colleen. Colleen around the 45 area, takes a couple of solos. Tipperary stand her up there when she goes past him. Here goes Colleen. Is she into a bit of space? She gives them goals, but again Tipperary have enough numbers back to stop that going any further. Good defending from them, and it looks like it's Elaine Kelly back there who goes back as far as Fitzpatrick. A real confident goalie. She gives that on as far as Niamh Martin. Niamh Martin then puts that to the far side of the field as far as Emma Cronin. Emma Cronin scored a few frees in the league there, most notably against Kerry. She gives that one on, but this time it's well read by Heatherton from a Dublin point of view. She has it. She's been held around the neck. The referee says there's a foul there. She did well there, Heatherton. She takes it really quickly. There's no waiting around with this Dublin side today. In as far as Carla Rowe again. Carla goes forward. Was she fouled? The referee says play on. Still Carla. She gives that out as far as Nicole Owens. Nicole had a goal a few minutes ago, and now she has a point. 1-1 from the Dublin number 10.
And that came from a turnover there from Emma Cronin. Our tips passes need to be more accurate, because every time they give Dublin a chance like that, they'll take their score, especially when you have people like Nicole Owens and Niamh Heatherton and Sinead Wilde there. They need to get their own kick out now, and it looks like it's going to Marie Creedon.
Marie Creedon is trying to get onto that. Is the ball going to win the race? Yes, it is. So that's going to be a line ball and another chance for Dublin to put a bit of pressure on. This one is taken quickly. Then as far as Lauren McGee has it now. She's looking up, always looking to go forward, always looking to give the right ball in. Here she comes forward still. Passes that one inside as far as Carla Rowe. Carla Rowe is out again. What a speedster she is. Goes past 2 or 3 players. Gets it now, looking for some support. 2 or 3 tip players still stay there. Back as far as McGee, who started this move. Back outside again towards Heatherton, who's probably had the most possessions of any player out there today. She gets it, then cuts back inside. Here's Heatherton. Is she going to have a shot at goal? No, she's not. She gives it to Jennifer Dunn. Jennifer Dunn bowls a Tipperary player out of the way. The referee says play on though. The ball goes to the ground and Tipperary have turned that over. They managed to do enough, literally threw bodies in the line that time. Nora Martin now has it. Nora Martin goes a little short hand pass. It might be more in their line to just kick this one away as they have the breeze, but this is their game plan. This is what they're sticking to. Kelly now has it. Kelly takes on her player and goes past her. It's English, in fact. English then gives it back to Kelly. Kelly has it now. She's looking up. She's looking for someone to play it to, but all she can see is blue jerseys ahead of her. Unfortunately, from her point of view, back inside to McGuigan. McGuigan gives that back as far as Hennessy, who's way away again. Tipperary love to see those inside forwards in closer to the goal, but unfortunately they're being pushed out. Tipperary holding on to this one. Again, it's Martin who's come all the way out the field. As we mentioned, she got a goal the last day out, so it's well able to score as well. She did well there. Heatherton drew the foul from Heatherton, and Tipperary again looking to take this one pretty quickly. Is the referee happy? Yes, it is, and Tipperary takes that quickly in as far as Morrissey. Morrissey has it. She's past her player. Can she get it up? She does on the second time. again. Here goes Morrissey on the left boot. She puts that high. Is it accurate? It looks like it probably isn't, unfortunately from her point of view, but encouraging signs from Tipperary nonetheless.
Very good, much encouraging signs. They took their time. They need to be running faster, I think, but they took their time, got a great ball over to Morrissey, and unfortunately she put it wide. But some great work there by Cleena Dwyer and also by Clara English and Elaine Kelly there. We need more of that, and we need people running into the space when Tip have the ball. So
13 minutes gone here. It's 1-2 to Dublin. It's 1 point to Tipperary as Dublin come on the attack, building all the way from their own kick out, building out there from Shields as she plays it up the line, and Tipperary are doing their best to stop Dublin make any inroads, but at the moment it is Dublin who lead on the scoreboard, and they have it now. They're being patient, they're working their back as far as Nolan. As you mentioned, she has really been the link player in this Dublin team in its early stages, and she has support there from Siobhan Woods. Woods has it, the three-time All-Ireland. She's around since three-time All-Ireland winner, I should say. She's around since 2011. She feeds out and forward as far as Wild. She goes out to the far side of the field. She goes out as far as Jennifer Dunn. Jennifer Dunn then puts that one into the corner. It looks like Dublin have Heatherton again. Heatherton gives it in as far as Dunn. Jennifer Dunn is in the scoring position, in as far as Carla Rowe again. Carla Rowe to shot. It looked like it maybe got a slight deflection, but it's gone out for a 45. A real goal chance there. Fitzpatrick is down injured. Not quite sure who managed to. Was it tipped out? It must have been tipped out as a 45, but was it heading towards the goals?
It definitely was heading towards the goal, but I think the brilliant thing there was the tip backs came out, but Lauren Fitzpatrick spotted the danger straight away, and I think she got her thing by lunging at it and cutting the angle down for Rowe, and that put it out for a 45 for Dublin. She looks like she's down injured now, but it may be just she's a very experienced player with a lot of experience, a fine goalkeeper. She must be maybe just giving Tip a time to regroup, but the referee will be aware of that, and she is getting medical attention though. But it just shows that even though it was an open goal there, the effect of the goalkeeper coming out and cutting down the angle made it more difficult for the Dublin players going through and Carla Rowe is phenomenal as far as scoring is concerned.
She has won today from a free. Nicole Owens with 1-1. That makes up the Dublin scoring so far. Tipperary just have the 1 point, that one coming from Emma Morrissey from a free, coming up on the 15th minute here in Tipperary, and Fitzpatrick is still down. She's still down, receiving a bit of attention. She would be a huge loss to this Tipperary side, as we mentioned. Bags and bags of experience too.
And Paul, it looks like that she's down. It looks like it's an ankle they're treating, so it looks like she maybe have gone over on her ankle a little bit when she came out to make that fine block. But she's up and moving back into position now, so hopefully all is well. Tipperary
would hope that won't impede her, as she's a player, as we mentioned a few times, who likes to get the ball and run out of her own goal. So you're hoping an ankle injury won't stop that happening. But now we restart with a Dublin 45. They go relatively short with that one. Colleen goes out to the sideline, but she's actually overhit that one. It looks like the ball is going to win the race. Yes, it is. So it's going to be a line ball for Tipperary, and they'll have a chance to clear their lines and get a bit of pressure off their defence, as it has been more or less on them for the full 15 minutes or so far. But this one goes out as far as Niamh Martin. Niamh Martin has open country in front of her. She's flying it. Carla Rowe is on her back though. Carla Rowe is doing her best to stop her going forward. Martin still has it. There is a bit of space if they want to switch it out this side of the field, but they do well. Martin comes all the way up and wins her side a free, and that one is something they need to do more of.
Yes, that's definitely, Paul. There's a whole open field. We need somebody running up this side of the field when the play's out there, so they can switch it over quickly and then get it forward. But Tip seem to have increased the speed of their line out, their frees and everything at the minute to match that of Dublin, and that seems to be working for them.
Dublin back on the attack again. The referee is playing advantage now. The advantage is over, so Dublin still have it. And just as they lost the advantage, they lost possession of the ball as well. So it's a line ball to Tipperary between the two 65s.
I think Tip need to become a more attack minded. I suppose it's only 16 minutes into the first half, and they're being defensive a bit. I think if they're a bit more attack minded, they may reap the benefits.
So here's McGuigan hoping to bring her side a bit more attacking into this one. Spillane has support on her outside through Martin. Does she decide to go with that? No, she goes to Kelly. Kelly, who was involved in that last Tipperary attack, that yielded a bit of success back as far as McGuigan. Trudy Ivan Neal, brilliant ball inside. Are we going to get our Tipperary going to get onto that quickly? It looks like they have it. Is that a lot of tackling going on there? The referee leaves that off. It looked like Emma Morrissey was surely fouled there. The referee said no, there's plenty of fighting from both sets of players. So I think he probably said it's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. And eventually it's worked out now. It's a Dublin free inside their own 45.
It is indeed, and they're taking it quickly. I thought it was a free in for Tip before that, but the ref is right on the spot, and he judged that it was fair game.
So McGee fists that one on. She's looking for the return. She doesn't get it initially, but and Dublin are still driving forward here, looking to get another score on the board. 1-2. Niamh Heatherton now. Niamh Heatherton has it. She goes past her player again, looking for some support. She gets it from McGee. Lauren McGee goes back as far as Carla Rowe, who's been dangerous from the very start of this game. Carla has it. She gives it back as far as Colleen. Colleen then goes back. Woods opens up her body and plays a good ball there as far as Egan. Egan then goes back to Carla Rowe, who's really directing things there from the 45 in. She gives that back as far as Woods. Woods looks up. Has she spotted a ball inside? She was looking for Heatherton. It bounces, but Tipperary looked like a number back there. Heatherton is still trying very hard, but it looked like Martin threw her body into that one and managed to just get it clear out as far as Kelly. Kelly, who's back there, and she gets the 1-2. That was dangerous, but well read from Tipperary point of view.
It is, and it looks like Lane Kelly has gone back in to play sweeper, but now she's coming up the field with it, and that will help. It was well read by Lane Kelly there, and they're clear, got it out now at the other side of the field with Lucy Spillane or Niamh Martin.
Oh, it's been turned over there, Nicole Owen. She's been quiet since she got that goal, but when you score 1-1 in 10 minutes, you can be quiet for a couple of minutes as she's turned that over now, and Dublin driving forward here again. Looks like Jennifer Dunn. She feeds that to Killeen. Killeen does a little pirouette, but Tipperary have enough players. They had 3 players around her there, made sure she wasn't going any further forward and managed to turn that over, and Peter Creedon would be delighted to see that. And speaking of the Creedons, here's Marie Creedon now on the ball up to the 65. McGee is standing her up, but she plays a boot ball inside as far as it looks like is Lorraine O'Shea, who we told wasn't starting, but that looks to be number 14, the far side of the field, and she's on. But either way, the ball beat everyone over there, and it's going to be a kick out.
Yeah, I think that was one of the times Tip should have held on to the ball and worked it up the field. But as I said, it looks like Elaine Kelly has gone back. It looks like Lorraine O'Shea is on the field, which we weren't aware of, as well as Angela McGuigan. So we'll have a look around and see who's been replaced or who's not on at this minute. Yeah,
we'll stick with the play for that, Lena, if you want to keep an eye on that as Dublin come out of their own defence again. They work it over as far as Woods. Woods then gives that one in as far as Nolan. Nolan has it now. Back inside as far as Nicole Owens. Nicole Owens now on this near side of the field, taking a couple of solos. She has plenty of time and space around her. She has support there on the far side of the field, or on the near side of the field, I should say. Now they still hold on to it. Nolan plays out inside again. Lovely ball inside as far as Carla Rowe. She has support outside. Dublin look dangerous here as they work it out. As far as Heatherton again, Heatherton has a bit of space, trying to make it a bit easier for herself. In as far as Rowe doesn't get it the first time, but still Dublin hold on to this one, holding on to it. It's McGee now. McGee doesn't fancy a shot from there, but what a ball she plays inside. Now do Dublin have a chance? Is there a scoring chance here for Killeen? There isn't. Tipperary do really well there. Enough players back there. Ava O'Shea did brilliantly well to stop Dublin getting the shot off there, and Tipperary delighted with that. Now can they convert it into a score is what they'll be hoping. They're a long way from the scoring zone, but they'll be working it up. They're working it through Spillane now. Spillane has it. That one is inside as far as Creedon. Again, Creedon, who's come out and just trying to bring the ball in. She's done well when she's got on it. She's done well again here. She has 2 players hanging off. The referee says play on though. Still Creedon has it. She's looking around. There is some support, but she seems to have dropped that one. I think it took her eye off the ball. She was looking up and lost possession. It's been turned over again by Dunn. Jennifer Dunn now. Jennifer Dunn over the 65, heading towards the 45. Still Dunn. Big, strong player. Looking back, has she got some support? Yes, she has through Carla Rowe. What an engine Carla Rowe has, just up and down the field all day today so far. Only has that one score coming from a free, but Tipperary will be hoping to keep it that way because you can't see her being held to just 1 point from a free for the rest of this game. But who knows? Back as far as Heatherton now. Niamh Heatherton, she has some support. She has 3 players out to her right. This one comes out as far as Corbally. She has it now. Quinn Corbally has it. She's looking up. Nicole Owens wants the ball. She gets that ball. Here comes Nicole Owens. Well marshalled there, but Nicole Owens manages to spin out of that. Now Dublin on the attack again in as far as Nolan. Nolan, can she pull this one out? She gives it back outside. The shot's coming in. It's a dribbly little one. Could have caught a goalie, but Egan's shot is well saved by Fitzpatrick. And Tipperary come out of their own defence.
Yes, that was great. The great work there by Nora Martin. She just got her hands to it, took the power off of it, and Lauren Fitzpatrick was able to get it. They're travelling out with it now. It looks like Cathal Hennessy. I keep calling Casey Hennessy. It looks like is gone to the sideline. I can't see her around the field at the minute, and that Lorraine O'Shea has come in for her. We'll check on that and come back in a little minute to you.
So it looks like Lorraine O'Shea, who's a big influence on this team, played with Mullinahone. They made it all the way to the junior club final, or being by St Jude's of Dublin, but bags of experience from Lorraine O'Shea, her sister there, Ava O'Shea, playing at corner back. Tipperary holding on to this one again through Creedon, back as far as Emma Cronin. Emma Cronin is looking up, plays that one inside, a lovely ball inside into a bit of space. Now can they build something? Here comes English has a bit of space. If she can just look up and find someone else, she finds the aforementioned O'Shea gives it back in, lovely ball into the corner, looking for her sister. Can she get it? The first, she gets it on the second time. Now she's going forward, she has goal on her mind, she's going forward, looking up the target, still there, just trying to shake off her marker. Manages to do that, back to her sister Gwen, back to Ava takes a couple of solos, couple of hops. Does she get it? No, she does. Good chance. You could see the O'Shea sisters working well together there.
You could very well work there, but then the final pass just wasn't good enough, which has been probably a trait for Tipperary all day. The final pass when we need it isn't coming off, but great work there between English and Nora Martin to bring it up, and then a great ball into Lorraine O'Shea inside in the corner.
Nicole Owens and Carla Rowe working well together here now, as we mentioned it, back as far as Carla Rowe to right, and that one goes to the left and wide. We don't see that too often from Carla Rowe. Coming up on 23 minutes here, 1-10 to a point, or 1-2 to a point. I was looking at the time, 1-2 to a point in favour of Dublin, and Tipperary will be relatively happy with that. They'll be hoping to get a few scores of their own. Dublin haven't scored for quite some time now either, but now they have it back through Niamh Heatherton on the edge of the D, gives a little go, she gives it in goes. Is she going to get it back? Yes, she is. Heatherton then gives it back in the storm and running. Nicole Owens in as far as Carla Rowe, back as far as Jennifer Dunn's shot is half blocked, it's out for a 45. Great move from Dublin, tipped it well to stop that going over the bar into the back of the net.
Yeah, I think Dublin were looking to put it in the back of the net there, but great work there from Niamh Martin, kept her eye on the ball and kept her eye on the player, and knocked it out for a 45. I think Lauren Fitz had it covered as well, and also Elaine Kelly doing great work in there, sweeping in front of the half back line to make sure that Dublin don't get any easy chances at goal. I think Tipperary will be well pleased with 23 minutes gone to be 1-2 to a point down, but as I said, they need to become more attack minded, and maybe now that Lorraine O'Shea is on, get more ball into her, quick ball into her. Her and Morrissey should work well in there to convert it into some scores. So
it's Jennifer Dunn now to take this 45, and speaking of working well together, Carla Rowe and Nicole Owens have been working really well together, and they set up this chance. That one is going in. There's a chance of a goal here for Dublin. Is there going to be a turn and a shot back as far as Carla Rowe? Well saved by Fitzpatrick there in the goal, and that one is punched over the bar. That could have so easily went into the back of the net though.
That it could so easily have gone, but great work by Dublin again to not give up on it, and when it was blocked out there was someone there to get it, and of course to fist it over the bar to make sure there was a point, making it 1-3 to a point. Great save again by Lauren Fitz in the tip goals.
About 5 minutes left of normal time here in this first half. Fitzpatrick goes out towards Creed, and Creed is just hit it's over her head and in there as far as Woods now. Oh, but it keeps going. This might work out to Tipperary's advantage. McGuigan has it. McGuigan on the far side of the field needs some support. Does she have it? She goes past her player. Still McGuigan, still going strong. She's looking up. She plays that one down. It's half blocked and it's not going to go to its intended target. And Dublin again turned that one over. Jennifer Dunn, who's been very good today as well, to Lauren McGee, also the midfielder there. She has it now, goes down, and they recover possession there. Looked like Tipperary might have been in for a score there, but Dublin do well to stop that happening. Jennifer Dunn now back as far as McGee. McGee looks up across as far as Nolan. Now who's out? Nicole Owens is here in front of us looking for the ball in acres and acres of space. She gets it. Here comes Nicole. She's been stood up well there by Martin though. She decides to kick that one on. Kicks that one long down as far as Egan. Down inside. Who's going to get to that? It looks like it's a Tipperary player. It is Egan. Egan is inside the 21. Is she going to have a shot herself? No, she's not. She gives it back inside as far as Nicole Owens, who started this move. Nicole gives that back to Egan again. Egan with the right boot. Egan looks like she's trying to play that into space over as far as Heatherton. They're really working the ball maybe too much, you could argue. Still there. Is it going to make its way into the back of the net? No, it's not. Somehow that doesn't go over the line. It looked like Dublin had overplayed that, but it might have still snuck in, but somehow it doesn't go over the line.
It doesn't, and that's a miracle. I just don't know how whoever got a toe to it, or how Dublin didn't put it in the back of the net. They had all the momentum going forward, but again, proof of the defence is working well, but that might be a chance that Dublin might rue by the end of this game. That's 3 or 4 chances they've had now in the first half that they haven't put away, and Tip will that'll give Tip confidence in the second half, and to have held Dublin to 1-3 to a point in 25 minutes gone. You know, they had Kevin nearly put away at this stage in last week's game.
Absolutely. Mick Bowen and his management team won't be too happy to see those chances weren't converted, but he'll be happy to see the interplay that went into that. Potentially too much interplay, he might argue. In towards that big player Heatherton, where it just goes between her hands and out, and no score is conceded there from Tipperary point of view. Dublin will feel they probably need to be converting these chances, but it's Fitzpatrick now again looking for this one.
But I suppose it's good scoring against the breeze. Tip are playing with the breeze in the first half. Tip will have to up their game in the second half to get scores. Great ball there to Angela McGuigan.
McGuigan has it now with her back to the attacking goal. She goes back as far as Spillane, feathered, then back to Fitzpatrick again. Fitzpatrick, here we go. Like Tipperary fans love to see her coming out the field, going on a run up the field. Where is she going this time? Carla Rowe stopped her going any further, and Emma Cronin going to be able to recover the situation. Yes, she is. She goes back and gives plenty of time for Fitzpatrick to get back into the goals as it goes back as far as Martin. Now Martin is looking up. There isn't a lot of players making runs for her though. She's been tackled. She's been well tackled there by Colleen, and she's forced back. But again, from the Tipperary point of view, they're just looking up, and all they're seeing is all the Tip players being well marked. And that one went inside. It was looking inside for a Tip player, but it's well turned over there by Nolan now. And again, Dublin come Nolan. She got a bit of a tap on the back. The referee says that's a free. It's going to be a free in. Nicole Owens looks to take it quickly. It's not from the right spot, and we're going to have to go back and take this free for Dublin.
Yes, again, I did get a tap going through. Clara English was unfortunate, the ball went through over her head there, otherwise Tip were on the way. Dublin taking the freeze very quickly and quite prepared to work back the field as well as going direct for scores.
Back in as far as Nolan then gives that into Egan. Dublin have this now and they're prepared to be patient, very very patient. Colleen now has it. She has support there for Owen. She goes over her head on their corner back. Quinn Corbally has come all the way up. She feeds that to McGee, gets the return pass, fuller running. She's only 19, it's her first year in the panel and she's trying to make an impression. Good strong runner from all involved with Dublin. Now here comes Carla Rowe back as far as Heatherton. Heatherton is looking around. Heatherton then gives that back to McGee again. McGee, she's always been told not to shoot and just distribute the ball, and she gives down as far as Egan. Now here come Dublin again on the attack. Wild back outside as far as Owens with a shot. And you would expect slightly better Nicole Owens. She has won one already today, but we probably would have expected her to put that over the bar.
It was, and there was very little pressure on her. She didn't realise that she had the time she had. Again, good pressure work by Tip. They're not letting them in for the goals and they're keeping them out. But I mean, Dublin are getting so many chances, they will start to convert them. And so Tip need to work on that.
About 90 seconds of the first half left, and coming all the way back there is Spillane to get the ball. But again, Heatherton, who's working so hard back there, doesn't manage to actually turn her over this time. Spillane does well to hold on to it on the second attempt. Now it's McGuigan going forward here, looks up, lovely ball into a bit of space, isn't into too much space though, it looks like it's going to go in, and Shields in the Dublin court has been very quiet so far in this game, very little to do. 28 minutes, nearly 29 minutes gone, and I'd say that's only about the second or third time she's got the ball, but Dublin have it again, and that's the way they'll want to keep it. They don't want Shields putting in a big performance. They'll hope she doesn't touch the ball again for the whole game, but Dublin have it again now on the far side of the field. Rowe puts that one down into the corner again. Heatherton is out in front of Cronin. Is she going to be able to get down to this? Hard to see. Is that gone out from over here? It's very close to, like, Cronin does brilliantly well there. Great defending. You love to see that from a corner back, just hands in everywhere, not letting the forward get the ball, and they've managed to turn it over.
They have indeed, and Dublin were unfortunate that nearly went outside. She was too busy trying to keep it in, but Emma Cronin worked very hard to make sure she got the ball, and Tip now are in possession, goes back to Lauren Fitzpatrick.
So Fitzpatrick all the way back here trying to start things. There is a bit of an opening there. She decides to pass it off this time, pass it back as far as Martin. Tipperary do only have that 1 point after 29 minutes, and they do have the breeze, so they need something. They probably need a goal before half time to have any hope of just keeping this game a bit more alive going forward. There was another slap into the out there, more accidental than anything. I think we were going to pause for a second there as Niamh Martin just gathered herself, and the referee has a bit of a chat there to a couple of players.
Yes, it did indeed, and she had the field open in front of her if she had been able to stay going, so it was an opportunity missed maybe for Tip. In the last play, the ball came up the far side of the field, and unfortunately Emma Morrissey ran to the left when the ball went over to the right. If it had come with her, she had an opening in towards goal, but they may look at that at half time.
And they'll need to work a score from this. They decide to go backwards, which the fans here never like to see, but they hold on to possession, which I suppose is the main thing. Back as far as O'Dwyer, of course, is a niece of Niall Quinn, the Irish footballer. That ball goes down inside now as far as Lorraine O'Shea. O'Shea gets it again. She only got the ball 2 or 3 times in this game, but when she's always going forward. She's always trying to create things. She's in around the end line. Still O'Shea looking for some support, but she's just too many Dublin players converging in her. She loses possession, and Dublin come away with the ball again through Jennifer Dunn. Jennifer Dunn being stood up there by a couple of Tipperary players, so she decides to feed that one forward as far as Carla Rowe. Carla Rowe has it now. She has support outside if she wants it. She decides to give it on to Colleen now. Colleen over the 45. Dublin going forward in waves here. They have plenty of numbers up if they can just feed it outside here. It's Nicole Owens. Is she going to get onto it again? Well read there, brilliantly read from the Tipperary defender there. Lucy Spillane does very well, and now Tipperary have a bit of open space in front of them. Here comes English, a very athletic player. Here comes English. She has a player standing up, but she's going to go past her. Gives a little 1-2, looking for the return in as far as Morrissey. Tipperary need a score from this. McGuigan up to the end of the D. Now Morrissey again. Lovely bit of juggling from Morrissey. Does she have it back as far as McGuigan? McGuigan with the shot. They'll be really hoping for a score from this one, and that's exactly what they get. They work very, very hard for that score, but they get it, and that'll give them great confidence going in at half time.
Yes, that will indeed. A well worked score, and they've started to do that in the last couple of minutes. That ball has come all the way up from the back line, well worked through English and Rowe, and of course it came off Niamh Martin in the back, and well taken score there. That will give them a big lift. I think we also have Sarah Ryan on the field for Tipperary. She came on in the last couple of minutes.
So unfortunately we don't have someone with a board here letting us know that thing, so we'll just keep an eye on them as we see them. Now it's Creed now on the ball on the far side of the field. She'll be hoping to get another score from Tipperary. 1-3 to 2 points in favour of Dublin at the moment, but it's Tipperary who have the ball in the dying minutes of this first half. They have the breeze, need another couple of more scores. They've worked it back as far as English now. Referee nearly gets in the way, but does well to stay out of it. Still Tipperary have the ball, working it back as far as English again, back as far as McGuigan is in a fairly central area. Tackle comes in there from Nicole Owens. She knew what she was doing, I think, and she gave away the free, but maybe it could have been worse, is what Nicole was thinking.
That's probably exactly what she was thinking, Paul. I'd say other than that, McGuigan looked, if she was going directly for goal, and we know she plays with commercials, she'd have got it. But luckily now that we have Emma Morrissey will put this between the posts and make it 1-3 to 3 points going in at half time.
If Morrissey can get this, just a goal in it then. A lot of people wouldn't have expected that coming into this game. Now, as we have mentioned a few times, Tipperary do have the breeze. Here comes Morrissey with her right boot. She looks very calm and collected kicking that one, and she gets exactly the right result. 2 points for her, both coming from frees. The other score for Tip coming from Angela McGuigan. If you've just joined us, Nicole Owens has 1-1 for Dublin. Niamh Heatherton has a point, and Carla Rowe has a point as well from a free. So just a goal in it here in Tipperary for this Dublin Senior All-Ireland Senior Championship. Tipperary against Dublin. Dublin on the ball again. Dublin now just working out their own defence inside their own 45, plays a lovely ball into a bit of space, and now they're running. Now it's Gribben showing a clean pair of heels to anyone who's trying to chase her. She's still going forward, she has a bit of space. Tip had committed a lot of players forward, but they've got it again now through Colleen. She's working it there as far as Carla Rowe again. Carla Rowe plays that across the field to Nicole Owens. Nicole Owens has support inside there through Nolan. Nolan doesn't get it though. Again, brilliantly read there. Brilliant defending from Tipperary. And they've really come into the game in the last 5 or 10 minutes or so. In as far as Crean, she couldn't hold it the first time. She's still fighting. Nicole Owens is back there fighting as well. But as Tipperary have it through Kelly. Now Kelly going forward again. She's put in a huge performance in the last 5 or 6 minutes. Lovely ball inside. Tipperary on the attack here. McGuigan up to the 21. She plays that ball. It just doesn't go to hand. She was looking for O'Shea. Lorraine O'Shea just couldn't get that one into her fingers. It was slightly too well hit, for want of a better term, too firmly hit, and Tipperary just don't get what they would have liked out of that, and Dublin come all the way back down as far as Heatherton now. Heatherton has it, she's calm, gives that inside as far as Jennifer Dunn. She runs forward again, hoping for a return. She gets the return inside the 45. She gives that back. It's a real, I suppose, real obvious thing about Dublin's play at the moment is the runners off the shoulder. Now Carla Rowe inside the 14. Carla Rowe, she was looking for a runner off the shoulder there, didn't actually have it on that occasion. Back out as far as Heatherton now. Heatherton gives it back as far as Rowe. Rowe on the turn, Rowe to shot, a good bit out. Is that one going to get over? It's not, it's gone to the left and wide. That in fact was Egan, it wasn't Rowe. But Dublin, I suppose Tipperary had a bit of a purple patch for the last few minutes, but now Dublin have come on top maybe in the last 30 seconds or so.
Dublin seems to be able to turn it around, and they're passing to each other is more accurate and slower, and they're making sure of it. That's what I think has been Tip's problem in the first half. The number of turnovers for by Dublin, I'd say, is in the teens, well and truly. But it's half time, and it's 1-3 to 3 points. I suppose anyone that seen the results from last weekend wouldn't have expected that this weekend. Dublin have had their chances, they didn't take them, and any chances that Tip have got, they did take them. So all to play for in the second half.
The thoughts there of Lena Ryan. So half time here, Tipperary against Dublin. It's Dublin 1-3, it's Tipperary 3 points. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back with full coverage of the second half after this short break. Back to Temple Tewey, Tipperary against Dublin. Just about to get going for the second half. Both teams are both out at nearly the exact same time, which is slightly unusual. But it's Dublin 1-3. It's Tipperary 3 points. We're about to get going for this second half. We'll keep an eye out for any changes. We'll bring them to you as we get them. We haven't got any official confirmation, but we're just expecting, we would be expecting a few changes. Lena, what are you expecting from the second half?
Well, I expect Dublin to push on, really. I suppose the Tip defended very well. I think their superior physique and fitness will probably tell, but then I could be wrong in that. Tip have held them very well in the first half. I would hope that we'd push forward and maybe get the ball into Lorraine O'Shea, and Tip could get some scores. I think Dublin will rectify the number of wides they had, and they'll probably go for take their points. They don't seem to be getting in for the goals, and when they do, the Tip goalkeeper seems to be keeping them out.
So we're off, and it looks like Ava O'Shea has moved into midfield, as has Marie Creed. Maybe that was just for the throw up, which Tipperary have won, and it's been fed on to English now. English gives it on to Martin. Martin goes forward. McGee is on her shoulder. McGee does enough to dispossess her and win the ball back and stop Tipperary going any further with that one. Dublin get back onto that. Jennifer Dunn looks up, plenty of space there. A lovely ball inside as far as Wild, but it bounces over her head, and Tipperary are back there with Murphy. Murphy gathers that one, comes out, breaks a few tackles and holds onto the ball, and now Tipperary have a chance to try and create the opening score of the second half. That's a lovely ball in as far as Morrissey. Morrissey gets it. She's over to 21. Still Morrissey on her right boot. Is she going to fancy it? Not an easy angle. She cuts back onto her left. This could be a fantastic score if she gets it, but she doesn't. Just gets the angle slightly wrong. Encouraging signs though from Tipperary to start the second half.
A great start, and that's what they do. They need to push up on the Dublin kick out now and get it back into Lorraine O'Shea and get some scores on the board.
So still 1-3 to 3 points in favour of the Leinster champions Dublin, as it looks like Shields there who's going to try and take that one. She kicks that straight to Lorraine O'Shea of Tipperary. Lorraine can't control it the first time, but she gets it the second time, has a bit of space. She's looking up. There's a lot of Dublin players ahead of her though, and not too many Tipperary players. She holds on to just still Lorraine over the 21. Lorraine O'Shea, she's been well tackled there, but still O'Shea in a difficult enough angle. I think she just had enough option, didn't really know what she was going to do with her, and she is turned over in the end.
Unfortunate there for her. Yes, she ran herself into a cul-de-sac, and no one. She turned around and gave it back out. Dublin are now on the attack, and they turn the ball over very quickly, and they're up on halfway with Sinead Woods with the ball now.
Woods then feeds that one as far as Wild. Wild has it now up to the 45. Still Wild looking around her, has plenty of support. Gives that one inside. Not an easy angle to shoot from, but she gets it back. Here's Wild again, back as far as Jennifer Dunn. Or that's not Jennifer Dunn. There's a new sub who's come on in the last few minutes. That looks like Natalia Hyland. She gives it back out as far as Nolan then puts that one. It's brilliantly blocked though. It is still fine there, and it's Tipperary who have come away with that one. They seem to have done well there. Is it Sarah Ryan has got that one? So there's been a few changes in this second half. Sarah Ryan has definitely come on for Tipperary, and Natalia Hyland has come on from a Dublin point of view, and it's going to be restarted now with Tipperary all the way back as far as Fitzpatrick now. Fitzpatrick, again, as we mentioned a few times, loves to come out, loves to go running up as far as Kelly, another player who loves to go running in this game. She has it. She's taken this up to the 45. She's been stood up there, still going with the ball. Still Kelly. Kelly goes back. She's encouraging her players to go across to the other side of the field, and now they have it back as far as McGuigan. McGuigan has a point from the first half. She's all the way back inside her own half. She'd like to be closer to the attacking goal, but Tipperary have to work hard to get the ball up there. Back as far as English now. English again inside the 65. They've obviously been hold on to possession. This one goes back as far as Creedon now. Creedon back inside her own half as she feeds that one forward. Does she manage to get to Tipperary? No, she doesn't. Tip have lost the ball. Nicole Owens has won that back from a Dublin point of view. She goes down and that holds on to the referee is just trying to see how things are going to develop, and eventually decides it's going to be a free into Dublin.
And Carol Rowe takes that very quickly, and it goes into Jodie Egan. They look like they're attacking now. It's another free in when she's pulled on the spot. They've taken it quickly. Oh no,
he's decided to go back. Yeah, well spotted there, Lena. Decided to try to take that quickly. I think the referee didn't like exactly what he saw there. Back as far as Egan now. It looks like Egan's going to take the free.
They're keeping the ball moving at speed the whole time, which is keeping the Tip girls on their toes. Tip need to maybe replicate some of that, especially up front.
And it looks like it's going to be taken here by Egan. Egan goes out with her right boot, and she gets that one between the posts. That's her first score of the day, coming from a free. They've moved her onto the frees. Carol Rowe took the ones in the first half, but Jodie Egan has taken that one and put it over.
That, Paul, is probably the difference in that when Dublin get their chance, they got one chance to put it over. We've had two in the beginning of the second half, and we haven't Tip haven't converted any. But they're on the attack now with Niamh Martin on the ball.
Martin has been stood up there by Heatherton again, but she holds on to it. She gets a bit of support. This one goes back as far as McGuigan now. McGuigan is looking up, plays that as far as Creedon. Creedon goes down and that gives a little pass back as far as McGuigan. She feeds that one over as far as Kelly. Now Kelly has plenty of space, doesn't manage to control that the first time, but still has a bit of space, has time to compose herself. She's coming down the line again, taking her couple of solos, going back inside, cutting back inside, goes back as far as McGuigan now. McGuigan has it. She has open space in front of her if she can spot it, just over this little wall of Dublin defence, but there is a foul coming there. Tipperary did well there. They've worked themselves free just in the edge of the D. Are they going to try and take it quickly? No, we're going to go back. Good work from Tipperary.
Very good work, and Elaine Kelly working all the way upside. Good work by Ava O'Shea. She got the ball in, and they had to foul her, because if she had gotten on the run, it was possibly a possibility of a goal there. The ball now is being taken, a free being taken, and she's been moved back. Morrissey's been moved back by the referee. This is well within her range, and hopefully she'll put it between the sticks.
She has 2 from the first half, both coming from frees. Here she goes. Hopefully her composure wasn't disrupted too much there with the referee moving her back a couple of steps. I think she stole him just back there, and that one looks good. That one looks to be going between the posts. Her third of the day. She does look very good on the frees, and it's very important to have a consistent free taker like Emma Morrissey.
She's very, very consistent on him, and her ability to put him from angles is very good. But Dublin on the attack now again.
Again, it's Wild. Wild looks inside as far as Jennifer Dunn. Jennifer Dunn, I think, took her eye off that slightly. She was thinking about the next move and it's lost, and it's been turned over. Now it gives Tipperary a chance to attack. They've worked it in as far as O'Shea. Lorraine O'Shea's in plenty of space. Can she keep going? Here goes O'Shea. She looks like she needs to take a hop or a solo. I think she took maybe slightly too many steps, was slightly conscious she couldn't go any further forward, but it's well blocked in there. Collins got her body in the way, and the chance of a goal for Tipperary goes away, unfortunately, from their point of view. And now Dublin have a chance to attack. That one is left inside. Again, it looks like it's Egan out in front of her player. Egan gets that one, turns around. She got a point from a free a minute ago. In as far as McGee. McGee looks up, plays a lovely ball inside, a lovely punt pass over the head. She was looking for Highland there, but went over the head and all the way out. And in fairness, there was a score for both sides, and neither of them got at. Now there was a chance for both sides, I should say, but no scores.
Yeah, I think Lorraine O'Shea was a little bit hard done by there. She looked like she was stood up, but she looked like she was fouled. Referee decided against it. Dublin came down and they put it wide, so a let off for Tip there, and they're on the attack again with the midfielder Cleon O'Dwyer. O'Dwyer
now back, just trying to get the ball out as far as Emma Cronin. Emma Cronin gives it back inside, back over across as far as Spillane now. Spillane shrugs off a tackle there. She goes by 2 Dublin players, and now she's got the advantage. The referee says play on, you have it, but she lost it, and we're going to go back. Nicola once came in there, took it off her. No, Nicola, it wasn't for your foul. It goes back. We're going to go back inside the Tipperary half for this free, and we're hoping to try and take it quickly, but I think they just have to go back to the original position. In fairness, the referee has been very, I suppose, consistent on that. He's saying you take it from where the foul occurred, and that's what happened. Now driving forward is Martin. Niamh Martin again has won herself a free. The referee's his hand up, and there we go. Tipperary slowly edging forward, making 10 and 15 yards every time. They want to take this one quick back as far as McGuigan, but I don't think the referee's going to let her take it quickly. We're going to have a slight pause. But I suppose Tip's tactic, they're going a little bit further every single time.
They have gained in confidence, and if they can progress it a bit further. But again, keeping it, we're still 3 points in it. It's still anybody's game, and I think number 9 there for Dublin, Jennifer Dunn, has just got a ticket for that last foul there on Lucy Spillane. Very strong player, Lucy Spillane, on the ball. Just needs more players running with her, I think, when she's in possession to get it.
So McGuigan comes across the field. Morrissey, I think, has come out to try and get a hold of that. She hasn't. In fact, that's English goes that. She's does very well. Athletic players we've mentioned a few times. Now this one is let down inside, but Dublin again just have enough players back there. Working as a sweeper back there was Woods. She got onto that and broke that up. Gives it as far as McGee now. McGee has it. She has players left and right to her. This time she goes to her right. She feeds down as far as Quinn Carberley. She gets it again, picks it up and gives it back as far as Dunn. Dunn has it now. She's looking inside, trying to feed it in to the danger player. She gives that one inside. Has she managed to get it in? Yes, as far as Highland has it. Highland has a runner on her shoulder. That runner is Nicole Owens. Here comes Nicole Owens at speed. Nicole is absolutely flying. Gives it back as far as Egan. Egan was trying to wind up for the shot, but she couldn't. Tipperary had just done enough to stop her. Then this goes back as far as Heatherton now. Heatherton has it. She gives it back. The shot is eventually coming in. Is that going to go between the posts? Yes, it is. That's over the crossbar, and a good score from Dublin.
That's an absolutely excellent score. They worked the wall all the way up, went down to the corner, came back into Heatherton in front of the post. She looked up and split the post with it. A fine score.
That's her second score of the day. 1-5 to Dublin, 4 points to Tipperary in this one. And now we go again back as far as McGuigan of Tipperary. She feeds it out to the side. It's Kelly again. Kelly looking up. She has space if she wants to keep going, but her space has been shut down pretty quickly there as that one is put inside. That one is put down inside, and she does well with that one again. But who has it now? It looks like Dublin have managed to turn that over. Just a bit of a kind of shemazel, for want of a better term, developed there. But Dublin managed to have enough strength there to come away with that one. That pass doesn't go directly to hand, but good hard working, solid working from the Dublin player there to turn that one over there from Quinn Carberley as she feeds out as far as Lauren McGee. Lauren McGee looks up, plays a lovely ball and an inviting ball into the danger zone, but just had slightly too much on it there for Highland to get in on the end of that one, and it goes harmlessly wide in the end.
The 50-50 battles Dublin's physique seems to be winning from. They're getting that touch in, and they're just winning those battles just at the minute. But again, their shooting misses continue in the second half. We've had 2 now in the second half from Dublin that all were scoreable.
So coming up on 10 minutes gone here in this second half, it's 1-5 to Dublin. It's 4 points to Tipperary. Tipperary are on the attack now. They'll be happy enough with how things are going. And that one is inside to O'Shea again. O'Shea has been dangerous, hasn't managed to really put her on the scoreboard just yet, but she has been causing problems for that Dublin defence. Now she has it. O'Shea, goes past her player really well there. Right footed shot. Is that going to go over? No, it's not. Maybe she was slightly tired after the great effort to shrug off her player, but that one just went wide, and Tipperary could have done with a score there.
They could indeed, but I think it was a tight angle. It's on the opposite side of the pitch. I think it was a tight angle, a good chance, but Lorraine, for her capabilities, probably should have scored that one.
So Wild now of Dublin. The game really has upped intensity since the start of this second half. It's up and down, which is great to see. A real advertisement for Gaelic football. That one is hit in, but just again slightly overhit for Highland. She is a tall, rangy player, but that one is the second or third one that's just got out of her reach slightly. But you can see what Dublin are trying to do.
You can indeed, and they're putting in the ball much faster into the inside. But Tipper sticking to their plan, and it's not working for them, as I said. But we need to convert the chances we have. Up front.
Fitzpatrick gives it on to Creedon. Creedon gives a lovely ball out in front to English. Now English going forward, lovely kick pass inside, lovely accurate off the laces, straight inside as far as Morrissey. Now Morrissey turns her player, gives it back to Creedon. Creedon, is she going to chance a shot from there? No, she's going forward here into a wall of Dublin players. 3 Dublin players converge around her. She managed to feed it out. The shot coming in there from Clara English. A well worked score. Creedon in really well, dragged in 3 players, looked outside, English was free, gave it out there, and she put her over the bar.
Great conversion there from the ball work from the half back line up. English probably had a chance of a goal, but a score at this stage, there's plenty of times, only 10 minutes gone in the second half. A well worked score there, and a great pass here for Morrissey to bring it through, and English working up the sideline and then stuck it over the bar.
So just a goal in it here, 1-5 to 5 points. So much closer than a lot of people had anticipated. I think there's been a few changes there potentially on the Dublin side. They're nearly too far over for us to spot them, but it looks like Wild has made her way off the field. Can't quite see who's come on. I think there might be a Dublin sub. Lena, you might keep an eye on that for us as we go on here. It's McGee. McGee gets that in the second attempt. She has that in a bit of space around her. She puts that one down inside now, and Dublin come again through Nicole Owens. Nicole Owens has it now on the far side of the field. Nicole is looking around for some support, drops the shoulder, goes past the player. Still Owens on her right foot, looking at the target, puts that one high, but puts that one to the right and wide. And as the Caoimhe O'Connor has come onto the field there for Dublin, number 20 Caoimhe O'Connor, she is well able to score as well, and she is not going to weaken this side by any means.
That's for sure. But with any the replacement won't. Wild has gone off, and the backs won't want to see a fresh pair of legs coming on in Caoimhe O'Connor. But again, we'll see what's going on. There's a stoppage in play just at the minute, and the referee looks like he's talking to people.
I think it was a few players there he was talking to. Eve Martin was definitely close to him there, and then there's a couple other players. Spillane maybe has been talked to from a Tipperary point of view, and Gribben from a Dublin point of view, but no cards given out, no nothing. He's just saying cut it out and let's get going. 12 minutes gone in this second half. Hannah Tyrrell, as she made her way onto the field, that would be, there we see her right now on the screen. Hannah Tyrrell, a huge level of experience she's going to bring to this, and Dublin are starting to get worried when they bring on the likes of her, but it's brilliant from them to be able to bring on the likes of Hannah Tyrrell. She's gone in there at number 22, hanging around the full forward position, and she's going to be full of running for the last 20 minutes or so, and there she is putting in tackles, not letting the Tipperary player go, but the Tipperary player does really well this time. That was Niamh Martin, shrugs off that tackle and gets going now again, and now Tipperary have a chance. They'll feel they have a real chance of maybe causing an upset here. Just a goal in it, 12 minutes into the second half. Creedon now has the ball. Creedon was instrumental in the last score for Tipperary. Still Creedon over the 45. 3 Dublin players come afterwards. Creedon gets it. She has some support outside. She gives a lovely ball inside. The crowd are really getting behind this one as O'Shea has it. Ava O'Shea back outside. Is there a shot coming in? That shot was coming in from Morrissey. He was blocked. It's still in the air. The crowd are really starting to get excited in the last few minutes as Tipperary really start to put a push on here, but there's going to be a free. The ball into the air. Tipperary have their, I suppose, momentum is halted. We're going to have a slight pause here for a second as the referee has a decision to make.
He has indeed, and great work out of there in the half back line by Maury Murphy for Tipperary and got the ball on, and then of course the cluster defence from Dublin came in and stopped it. I think the referee's going to throw the ball in here between Morrissey and Natalie Hyland.
Natalie Hyland, as we mentioned, is a big tall player, and I think we've just had the introduction of Kate McDade has just come onto the field there, but it's Tip on the attack. Tip with the shot. What a score! Brilliant effort there by Sarah Ryan. I think has put that over the bar, and Tipperary are down to only 2 points, which would have been unheard of if you said that before the game started. 14 minutes gone in the second half.
Tipperary have come out in the second half with a different attitude, and I suppose they see that there's a weakness in Dublin today, and this is another advantage for Tip now. The kick out came from the Dublin goalkeeper and came out here to the sideline, and is kicked in quickly by Cleena Dwyer to Clara English, and I'll hand back to Paul.
English goes past there, and she's still going forward here from a Tipperary point of view. Martin over the 45, shrugs off a couple of players there and still has it. Still Martin. You can really see the confidence level in the Tipperary players has increased in the last couple of minutes or so. They feel maybe Dublin are there for the taking. Still a long way to go here. We're just coming up to the halfway stage of this second half, but really this game has turned into a right ding-dong battle. And Eve Martin there is holding her face a small bit. She seems slightly injured. I think she's going to be okay. She shrugged it off, and we're going to get going. I think it's McGuigan now who has the ball there around the 45, and she's going to take a free. Martin is getting a bit of attention there just to the left of camera, but I think she's going to be okay.
You'd expect McGuigan maybe to drop it in on top of Lorraine O'Shea, with Morrissey coming in on top, or maybe find the back of the net. Dublin defence will be well aware of the threat of both of those players in that, but that's within shooting range for Morrissey, so I would imagine there's a game plan on here, and but again they're being well marshalled by the Dublin players in the
so here comes McGuigan into the breeze. She goes relatively short to O'Shea, who came out to win that. O'Shea now, she was looking to have a shot there. Oh, did she take too many steps? There's a few little things there. The referee gave a signal there. Liam, you might try and explain that one.
I think of maybe a foot block, but it also looked like she took too many steps. Anyway, it's worked out to Tip's advantage. It's a sideline ball to them from the resultant free.
So another chance for Tip to keep the pressure on. Niamh Heatherton just couldn't get to that one in time. She got a touch on it and knocked it into the car park actually, so that's a slight delay as someone goes looking for a ball underneath a car there, but there we go, it's come back in over the top, and we're going to get going again, and it's going to be taken here by Maureen Murphy.
We have another sub coming on. Number for Nolan has gone. Orla Nolan has gone off for Dublin, and she has been a fierce, important player in the first half of them, being the link player. She's gone off, and I can't see the number of the player that has come on.
We will address that once we get it, but Dublin really ringing the changes now, and they have the strength and depth in the panel to make those kind of changes. But look who's coming now. It's Martin again of Tipperary going forward, giving a little 1-2, looking to get it back. She doesn't get back, but Tipperary still keep coming through English now. English got a point a fair few minutes ago, goes back outside as McGuigan then back to O'Shea again. Ava O'Shea, lovely ball outside the right boot into a bit of space. Is there a chance of a score here? They've worked it over and back. Still Tipperary just trying to get more central, I suppose, before they release the trigger, but holding on to it. Frustrating Dublin, you'd imagine. They're coming down here, they're playing a Division 2 team, a team who barely survived in Division 2. They were hoping and probably expecting to win this by 10 plus points. At the moment it's 1-5 to 6 points, so just 2 points in it. Tipperary really playing well today. That one is inside to O'Shea again. O'Shea this time is beaten to it, is she? The ball just managed to squirt through, and Dublin have the extra player there back and managed to get possession back on this one, and they've worked it out again. And Tipperary are just going to have to try and soak up the pressure again before they can release another attack, as this McGee gives that one on as far as their number 27 again, who's come on to Martha Byrne. I think that was a player who just came on in the last few minutes that we couldn't identify, and she is another player with loads and loads of experience. And now Dublin go again, and that one is left inside. It looks like there's a bit of space. McDade has also been onto the field. There's a few subs going on, but Dublin are in now for a score. Is there a chance of a score? Definitely held back there. The referee says yes, there was. I think that might have been Egan was in. Her arm was held back as she went through. Pretty sure that was Egan. She was about to release the trigger and knock that into the roof of the net. She was held back, and it's going to be a free in, and a fairly scoreable one at that.
I think Chip were lucky there. It could have been it looked like it was a deliberate foul. They took the foul to stop the goal. We're looking at the black card wasn't shown.
Absolutely lucky there wasn't. Someone sent to the sin bin, and it's going to be Hannah Tyrrell to step over this one. A player who has played rugby for Ireland, of course, come back into the Dublin team the last couple of years and made a huge contribution as she knocks that over in her left boot, and Dublin go another point to the good. They've pushed this one out to 3 points now. It should be 1-6 to 6 points. I'd imagine the scoreboard here in Temple 2 is slow to tick over, but I'm pretty sure that one did go over, didn't it?
It did, yes, it did. It's 1-6 to 6 points.
So a goal in this one, much to the referee is definitely taking his time to knock up this score, but he's getting ready to go, wants to make sure everything is okay before he gets going, but he's having a few chats. Is there more? It's hard to know what the delay is for now. He's looking around.
He's talking to the fourth official on the sideline over there. I don't know what the problem is there. And the scoreboard still hasn't been updated, but the kick out has been taken.
Yeah, we'll just have to. Well, here goes Hannah Tyrrell. She's going to make sure that scoreboard is taking over now in a second. Here goes Hannah Tyrrell. She's going to get into a bit of space, lays it back outside. This one is coming across. Dublin still haven't given up on this one. Nicole Owens. Nicole on the left. She's had a few wayward ones already today, and then that is another one which you wouldn't expect. She's saying that's a 45. She's saying that took a touch. I don't think the umpires agree with her, but Dublin You just can't write him off. Who can you write him off? 8 All-Ireland finalists in a row. But Nicole Owens, if her shooting target was a little bit more, I suppose, in tune today, it'd be a different game.
And saying that, then maybe that's the pressure that's been applied from Tip. But just they definitely haven't their shooting boots on, and it's uncharacteristic of Dublin to have so many wides, especially in a championship game.
And especially a player of her calibre. And here she goes again. Her confidence isn't being affected by this. And that one is outside the right boot. And what a score that is. She may have had a few wayward ones up to this point, but that was a fantastic effort. And Dublin pushed themselves 1-6, apparently, according to the scoreboard here, 1-6 to 6 points ahead. And was that, in fact, Jodie Egan who put it over? Either way, a fantastic score from Dublin.
And from a very tight angle and against the breeze. So it is a fantastic score, so it is, with the breeze. But it was a tight angle in the far corner. Been well marshalled.
So we're starting again with Lauren Fitzpatrick. We can only go by the scoreboard here, I suppose, and that is saying 1-6 to 6 points. So that seemed to rule out the earlier effort from Hannah Tyrrell. We'll hear more of that as we go on, but we're going to stick with the scoreboard here in the ground. We imagine the referee is in conjunction with who's ever in charge of that, so that is the score as this shot comes in. But Fitzpatrick is behind that all the way, gets that into the red basket, holds on to this, and now Tipperary have a chance to go again. Dublin have really had him under pressure for the last couple of minutes, had 2 scoring chances, taken 1 and scored 1. 20 minutes gone in this one. In the second half, Fitzpatrick came out there to the 45, then decided to retreat back and get a bit of support, and Tipperary hold on to this one back there. Creedon now has it inside her own D. Creedon looking around, she's been very good today, has been up and down the field, creating chances, setting up scores, and now it's Tipperary who still have it inside their own 45. Now a little show and go, a little sidestep from Tipperary to make a bit of space in there as far as O'Dwyer. O'Dwyer then gives that one on again, and Tipperary still trying to just bore some holes in that Dublin defence, that rear guard that isn't letting them through at the moment. The Dublin are really not letting them even out of their own 45 at the moment, as they feel they need to get a score here. Here comes Nicole Owens again. Nicole gives that one in as far as Woods. Now Woods gives that one back again, back to Heatherton. Back in as far as Egan now. Egan has the ball. Where's she going to go with this one? Right boot, back outside, holding on to this one. In as far as McGee. McGee's on the edge of the D. She gives that one now as far as Woods. Woods gives that back to Owens again. Owens, lovely ball, lovely vision. She's looking for Hannah Tyrrell inside. It's going to bounce over the Tipperary defence, and luckily from their point of view it bounced all the way out, but it was dangerous.
It definitely was, because if 22 got her hands on it, it was in the back of the net for Dublin. But it looks like, because Tipper doing so much defending, their attack has been stifled, because Dublin have 2 players in defence loose the whole time to curtail any attack that Tipper will put on. English with the ball now to Maureen Murphy. Maureen Murphy stopped once, she solos it, passes it on.
And Tipperary really starting to come out to defence. And from an important point of view, the scoreboard here has changed over. It is now Dublin 1-7, Tipperary 6 points. So that Hannah Tyrrell point that we were trying to figure out why that hadn't gone up, I think there may be just a breakdown of communication, but either way, it's 10 points to 6 in favour of Tipperary. Tipperary have it now back there through O'Dwyer. O'Dwyer does a little pirouette on the 45 and she goes back outside, just trying to play it down alleys, trying to play it down dark alleys. Kylie there of Care tried to get onto that, just couldn't manage to hold it, and it's gone out of play, and it gives Dublin an attacking line ball just outside the 45.
Yeah, and it does indeed, and they'll probably drop it in on top of the top of Gráinne O'Driscoll in there, who's come onto the field as well for Dublin. There's a slight delay.
Caoimhe O'Connor's here in front of us with the ball in her hand, ready to take this line ball. 1-7 to 6 points in favour of Dublin. Tipperary will be hoping to get back into this. It's been Dublin for the last 5 or 6 minutes after Tipperary had a brilliant 10-minute play in this second half. Caoimhe O'Connor goes back to Lauren McGee. Brilliant pass. Lauren McGee managed to get that the second time. Does really well there to control that. Plays that back outside. Maybe not the ball as tidy as she would like, but there's plenty of space over there for Woods to pick that one up. And now Woods has it. McGee is on her left shoulder looking for a return pass if she wants to give it to her. She decides no. She tries to fist that one over the top. And now that's Nicole Owens. She gives that back inside. Back to Owens again. Owens then has a bit of support, but Tipperary do really well. Enough players that back there to stop Dublin really trying to do what they want to do and play up there. Good defending there. That ball isn't very good done. There was a Dublin player definitely fouled there. Collins was definitely fouled. The referee gave the advantage up as far as Caoimhe O'Connor now. Caoimhe O'Connor gives that into Heatherton. Heatherton turns, gives that on again, and Dublin just really starting to, I suppose, dominate in the last few minutes, starting to really show why they are the reigning Leinster champions and the 2000 and well, we can go from 17 all the way up to 2021 All-Ireland champions, all up to 2020 I should say. But there's a free. Tipperary again just threw their body. Like Nora Martin just made sure no one was going forward there, and then she managed to do enough to win her side of free.
I think Dublin are pushing because Tip are defending somewhat. Dublin are pushing them up, and then when the Tip get the ball out, there's nobody down in the attacking half of the field to get it. So Tip need to push out a bit more so that when they get the ball out, the defence is getting it out, but there's no one down to give a pass to. Roisin Kiley beaten for the last one there, just a bit short for it, but it's a free out now for Tip. You can see why the strength and depth in Dublin is coming to tell, and I suppose the superior fitness maybe as well. They've been able to bring on more subs of higher calibre maybe as well, but a great performance so far from Tip, only 4 points down, and we wouldn't have expected this.
So here we go again, back as far as Fitzpatrick. Nora Martin there receiving a bit of attention, but she was okay to get up and play on. Back to Lauren Fitzpatrick, who plays her club football down in Waterford. Ballymacarbery, the all-conquering Ballymacarbery 40-time county champions in Waterford. Back inside there as far as English then goes up the line as far as Spillane feeds that one forward to a player who's only come on a few minutes ago, Maloney goes back, and Tipperary holding on to this one. Another player who's come on there, Angela McGuigan, has started the whole game. The 26 would throw you off there for a second, but she's made huge contributions to this game. She has a point from the first half also. Now here comes Tipperary, far side of the field, trying to work it over and back there. O'Shea of Mullinahone, back to Cronin gives that one as Martin. Tipperary are being patient about this. Back to Maloney again, and Maloney back to Cronin. What have we got? We're coming up into the last 5 minutes or so of this second half. 1-7 Dublin, 6 points to Tipperary. Fitzpatrick again. She gets a runner, she gets some support, and now Tipperary have a chance to try and do something here. They'll be hoping to try and knock on another couple of scores. Only a couple in this, only 4 points in this. They'll feel this game is still well within their grasp. O'Dwyer now, Clean O'Dwyer back, looking for some support, looking for someone to make a run for her. She looks up again, there's no one really making a run. Yes, there is eventually, that's a good ball inside. Is it going to stay in? Just about kept in there. Is it done? Oh, just nearly there from English, but Dublin have turned it over again, and now is their chance. Now they've got plenty of player. Hannah Tyrrell is there lurking around at 21, but that one is sent inside. It's sent inside to Highland. Is she going to get to that? No, she's not. She looks like she's beating for pace. It's a big pole in our way. Unfortunately, that's
it's gone wide.
But that has gone to the right and wide. We need to speak to someone, whoever erected that pole, maybe get onto the ESB if we're ever back here again. But in fairness, it didn't impede us up to now, and that one has gone out and wide, and Tipperary will be delighted about that.
They will indeed, and that ball was well matched by Elaine Kelly, who has done a fine job in her sweeper system all the way up. It looked like we have a new number 22 is on for Tipperary, which is Shauna Quirk of Templemore. Shauna has a lot of experience and is not shy of the post either, so hopefully Shauna can make an impact in the last couple of minutes of the game.
So here we go, back to Fitzpatrick again. She's had a lot of the ball in the last few minutes, which is something that Tipperary wouldn't like to see, and that ball isn't a fantastic pass. She's put her defender there in a bit of bother. Martin gets it though, and Martin does well. She'd be happy to have got the free there. Those two Dublin players around her, but she got the free, and now they've the chance. Maybe they've numbers over. Maybe Tipperary have a chance to keep going forward here. They've worked it out there again through Quirk. Quirk then gives that one back as far as Kiley. Kiley has it. Has she got some support? Yes, she does. Tipperary just need to get this one closer to the Dublin goal, and this is one player who's well able to do that. It's Kiley driving forward here, driving out Kelly, I should say. Kelly going forward here on the far side of the field, gave that as far as English feeds that one on, and now Tipperary have a chance. They've worked it all the way up here, and have they won themselves a free? Yes, they have. Great work from Tipperary. They have to work hard for this, but it is paying off.
It is paying off, and it's great. There's great working over and back the field by Morris, Emma Morrissey and Clara English as well, and great work coming out there by Clean O'Dwyer. We just need to get it up in that area and get enough bodies up there. Shauna Quirk is in there now, inside in the.
And here comes Morrissey kicking into a strong breeze. Not easy to do that. Has it managed to stay in? Has it been kept in? It looks like it potentially has. It's just gone out. Not an easy kick for Morrissey. Tipperary could have done with it though.
They could have indeed, and it looks like Lorraine O'Shea has gone off for Emma Quirk, so she'll be a loss. She was doing well in there, even though she didn't get on the scoreboard.
And we've about 2.5 minutes to go in this one. It's going to be kicked out there by Shields. A fine kick, in fairness. She has the breeze at her back, but that is a good kick out high. Have Dublin managed to get it on the second and third ball? The referee's blowing his whistle, and he said he's going to throw this one up. It's going to be a throw up. Yeah,
I think he stopped it because I think it looks like Angela McGuigan is down. Injured.
So we've about 2 minutes of normal time left in this one. 1-7, that's 10 points to Dublin, 6 points to Tipperary. It's just a 4 in this one. Much closer than a lot of people had anticipated. Now Dublin, maybe you could argue, they did make 10 changes from that last game, but Tipperary have put them under the cosh and forced them into bringing on the likes of Hannah Tyrrell, Caoimhe O'Connor and their big name players.
They have done. Defensively, Tipperary have been excellent, and they've only got the one goal that was in the first half. They had chances of others, and defensively they were stopped. The problem is when we get up the field, we haven't converted any chances they got. They stuck them over the bar. But I suppose you don't take part in 4 All-Ireland finals 4 years in a row, and they got beaten last year by Meath without some pedigree to them, their names. Whereas Tipperary are in a rebuilding stage, and as we know, there's a lot of players that of top quality that are playing in the AFL, and also a number of them that are out injured. But this has been an energetic performance by Tipperary, and one that gives them great heart going into the next game.
Now Dublin are hoping to try and put a bit of gloss on the scoreboard. They won't be happy with just being 4 points up, and they have it now. They're working it over and back, working on the 45. Here goes Egan. She's looking at the post. Is she going to pull the trigger? She's not. She decides to wait for a bit of support. She gets that bit of support. Good strong running from Dublin, but run into a bit of a brick wall, and Tipperary do really well there to turn that over. Now they have a chance to launch an attack.
Nora Martin did great. She just stood her ground and she ran straight into her, and the referee. The ball is now with Niamh Martin, who's had a great game, great attacking game all day.
She feeds it on to Kelly, and Kelly manages to go to ground. She does. The referee said that wasn't a foul. She just lost her footing according to his interpretation of it. But now Dublin have a chance. Good sidestep there by Gribben, and as she opens up the play for herself, Nicole Owens gives it back to her. Then still running here. Nicole Owens looking for a return. She gets it. I don't know if she fully expecting it. Does she get on the second or third? Back to Egan. Egan on the edge of the D again decides, I'll play this one out to the side. I'll play it out to the wing. Out as far as, who was it? Out as far as O'Connor. Caoimhe O'Connor now has it in a bit of space. Back inside. We go. Martha Byrne gives it to Lauren McGee. Back to Heatherton. Heatherton now maybe been slightly quieter in this second half. She was hugely influential in that first half, and Dublin have this when they're working down the clock potentially. We've gone over the 30 minutes here, but there was a few stoppages. We would expect a little bit of time to be added on. Hannah Tyrrell now. Hannah Tyrrell looks to be full of running. She's ready to go. They play Mayo next weekend, and that'll be a big one for both teams. And both Dublin will feel and need to improve their performance a fair bit to take them on, but they've worked that one in. It's dropping in around. I was just managed to sneak over the crossbar. Siobhan Woods all the way up from number 6, and maybe that's the insurance score.
I'd say that definitely is the insurance score. A fine point. She took it on. She was under pressure from the tip back, but she put it high enough, and it could have dropped in over the goalkeeper's head, but it just went over the crossbar. A fine score.
Landed on top of the net. Now Tipperary back inside their own half. Spillane again. Back to Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick's going to run. She's going to run. She has a gap there if she wants to exploit it. Decides to give it on, and she's telling her team, go forward, go forward. We're over into the 31st minute. It's 1-8 to 6 points. Tipperary, if they could finish with 1 or 2 scores or even a goal, it'd really give them confidence going into that last game against Cavan, which is going to be hugely crucial at this stage. Oh, clash of bodies there. The referee says it's going to be a free in to Dublin, and there's going to be a player down he potentially wants to bring on. Showing a quirk there. Looks like she's going to get a bit of attention, it looks like, but we're going to restart in a couple of seconds with a free into Dublin.
Yeah, again, this is well within scoring range, and it's kind of a difficult one. The sun is in the goalkeeper's eyes, and if it drops in, it could drop in over the thing, which is often happens in ladies football. But Tip have been very good in defence so far, and Dublin have been wayward. Niamh Heatherton has scored a couple. This is well within her range too, to put it over the bar and extend Dublin's lead further.
She has the breeze at her back. She'll be hoping, as you said, maybe she could drop it in around to Hannah Tyrrell or Highlander in there as well. She's looking at this one. She's a few options coming up onto the 32nd minute of this second half. The last few minutes she decides to do nothing of what we suggest and goes very short, and they're just holding on to possession over and back as far as Heatherton again. Maybe they're being told just play down the clock at this stage. This one goes as far as Gribben now. Gribben plays that inside. There's a bit of space out here on the near side of the field. That comes over there as far as O'Connor now. Caoimhe O'Connor does a little sidestep. She's dropped the ball though, or did a hand go in there for the Tipperary defender. Either way, Dublin have won this one back as far as Gribben, and they go back. They don't look like they're in any big hurry to score. 32 and a half minutes gone here in this second half. They lead 1-8 to 6 points here in Templetooey. Dublin now still have it back inside, just into the attacking half now. Here they go. They're being stood up really well there. Dublin didn't get that easy when they came down here today. They'll remember the day they came down to Templetooey, and not just for the big speed bumps as you come into the pitch. Here they go forward still. Lauren McGee now, she still has it. She feeds it back outside. Good running there. Good strong running this late in their game. It's great to see, and really is testament to their strength conditioning. Now they've worked it out. They have 4 or 5 players over if they want to use them. Everyone from Dublin besides their goalies into the half, and now Tipperary have turned it over. Are they going to have enough players forward? No, they don't. There's not enough players committed, unfortunately, from a tip point of view. There may have been a chance for like a breakaway goal, for want of a better term, but they still still have it. Now they're going forward there through Ryan it is. Ryan has been stood up. The referee decides it's a free, and maybe there's a late chance for Tipperary to make this a really tight finish as they go on. That one is kicked in again. Not very many Tipperary players committed very forward up in the field. Creedon has it here, and there's no one really ahead of her. She's waiting for a few runners. She has a bit. The referee says she's taken too many steps, which is very harsh, and it's going to be free out to Dublin.
Great defence by Dublin there. They saw saw if she got a run, there was nobody back. They bottled her up. That took too many steps. A great decision by the referee.
And now Dublin have the chance. Now there's maybe a few too many Tip players forward, and a chance for Dublin to really put the icing on the cake as they come forward here. The sun has come out here in Temple-Toohey as Dublin go forward. There's players calling for all over. O'Connor's inside, in as far as Heatherton. Heatherton gives it back, and now there's a chance in as far as O'Connor. Oh, well read, brilliantly read there back into Tipperary defence to stop an almost certain goal. But Hannah Terrell is alert. Hannah Terrell is strong. Shrugs off the defender. Left boot. Hannah Terrell. She's only off the bench a few minutes, but what a score! That's potentially the score of the day. Real strength, real power, and real accuracy.
And Lucy Spillane was unfortunate to lose. Great interception by her, but Hannah Tyrrell was well alert, looked up at the post and split the post of them. The insurance point certainly for Dublin today.
So we have double scores now, 6 points to 1-9. Dublin have really tidied up that score in the last 10 minutes or so. 6 point win for them. They'll be relatively happy with it. I suppose they've had a few goal chances, especially in that first half. They didn't take it. They want to tighten up on. Back to Hyland with the shot. That one looked lovely curl of an arc once that left her foot, and now they're really turned on the style.
They're really turned on the style. I think Tipper are flagging at this stage, and Dublin have, with their substitutes they introduced, the quality of the substitutes they introduced, and that it's really beginning to show. The difference in class is beginning to show.
You'd imagine there's not too much left in this one. This goes to Emma Crone. The referee has the whistle in his mouth. Is he going to blow it? I think Tipperary at this point would be hoping they did. 1-10 now to 6 points. So it's 13 points to 6. Tipperary probably were a bit closer than that throughout the whole game. Call for steps over there in the far side of the field. Dublin hold on to the referee, ignores that call. They've worked it back now as far as Gribben. There's a whole line of Dublin players across to 45. There's lots of options for them to go with. They decide to kick it into Hannah Terrell. Hannah Terrell is in acres of space. She manages to catch that. Is she going to take her chance? Gives it back outside. Is there another chance for Heatherton? Heatherton with the shot. Heatherton is looking good. Yes, it is. Heatherton's third point of the day, and that was probably the pick of him.
It probably was indeed, and she had a couple of missed chances in the first half, and she's got in the second half. She hasn't missed, and that puts a further gloss on the score.
And there we have it. There is the final whistle after nearly 36 minutes. Dublin 1-11, Tipperary 6 points. Lena, try and sum up that 35 plus 30 minutes for us there. Sum up that match for us.
Well, I suppose defensively Tipperary were good. All over the field Dublin were superior. Lauren Fitzpatrick had a great game in goals. Our backline were good. They had the strength and the quality and the experience, I suppose, over the last couple of years. They're playing Division 1, we're playing Division 2 and Division 3, Tipperary are. Coming from, if you take it from last week, we got a bit of a trouncing by Mayo. We had a 16 point lose, whereas it's only different today. I think we've learned a lot from it. I think we learned we need, and Lorraine O'Shea on another day would have probably scored some of her chances, and she didn't. But Dublin by far, you couldn't see them being beaten on that performance, and that was probably their second team, and they have everyone going. There's some great performances there.
Just looking at that Dublin side, they will be hoping to go on. They'll be hoping to be back in Croke Park on the 31st of July for the All-Ireland finals. Who stood out to you from a Dublin point of view, or even new players that we don't know so much about? Who do you think staked their claim to get into the opening 15?
Well, I thought Caoimhe O'Connor's running when she came on was impressive. She made use of the spaces. Of course, Nicola Owens all day worked her socked up and was all over the place. Carla Rowe as well. We didn't see her scoring prowess at letter, but their physicality, their running, they were able to get up the field and get down, and they had patience. And while it didn't work for them on the scoreboard in the first half, they were able to rectify that in the second half, and get over the line. The two midfielders have engines on them that they can run all day. They're accurate with their passing. They know where they're going, and they work hard in defence and in attack, and that's a huge thing for any team.
The thoughts there of Lena Ryan. Thanks very much for your company today. The final score here, Dublin 1-11, Tipperary 6 points. I've been Paul Jenkins. Thanks very much for your company. Stay tuned to the LGFA social media channels to see what games will be coming up next week. Thanks very much for your company, and we'll talk to you again soon.